Hey guys, welcome back to Gaming News on Clownfish Gaming, DRez Gaming News. We're going to talk about that big Switch 2 reveal, and more so than the Switch 2 reveal, I think we're going to talk about the price points for Switch games being revealed to be $80 to $90. Yeah, you heard that correctly. $80 to $90 for a Switch game. $80 digital, $90 physical, and Twitter is not very happy. A lot of people not happy about it. We do have some Nintendo defenders out there being like, you know what? Inflation. And it is true that back in my day, back in the 90s, we did have cartridges that cost over $90. In fact, Phantasy Star 4, I remember that one being $100. And I remember Virtual Racing, I think, being that much, and some Nintendo games, later Nintendo games were pretty expensive too. But that's because they were on cartridges, on ROMs that required a lot of memory, and memory was expensive back then. Now we're dealing with virtually no limitations on memory, and there are some other weird things with the Switch reveal. I'm not real happy about. I mean, the price point $450, that's about what people figured. We're going to go through it and go through what's been announced. Not happy about these virtual cards or whatever, where basically you don't get the entire game. You have to buy the cartridge, and then a little bit of the game is on the cartridge, and then you have to download the rest. And you know what's going to happen, right? Eventually we're going to be dealing with strictly digital gaming. And I mean, it is what it is. At that point, just get a Steam Deck, I guess. I don't know. I mean, look, some of the games look okay. They look all right. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if this is going to be a buy on day one for me. I've gotten burnt so many times with consoles. I kind of feel like they're, again, this is just my opinion, I kind of feel like they're setting themselves up for another Wii U type debacle, where it's like, wait a minute. Okay, so this is a slightly better Switch with really expensive games, and those games are mostly digital, and we're not going to do the whole card thing again. I don't know. Let's talk about it. So first, I think we're going to talk about what all has been revealed about it at the Nintendo Direct today. And this is one of those things where I wasn't like, everybody's like dying for information on the Switch too, and I'm like, it's a slightly better Switch. It's not even OLED, I guess. So that's kind of weird. So this is coming from Engadget. Nintendo Switch 2, everything announced, including a new Mario Kart game, new Switch features, and more. It comes out on June 5th. There's a new Mario Kart World. And look, the screen is slightly bigger than the other Switch. So yeah, it's going to be $450. Pre-orders start on April 9th, and it's going to be available on June 5th. I guarantee it's going to be the hottest Christmas item unless they really drop the ball. So Engadget says the Switch 2 is about the same thickness, but has a larger display, 7.9 inches at 1080p versus the 6.2-inch 720p screen on the old console. That runs up to 120 frames a second. It's an LED display rather than OLED, but it supports HDR. And I guess it can be output to 4K, but I think you have to upgrade your games to 4K. Like you have to pay extra to upgrade them to 4K. I don't know. There's just a lot of little things about this that are kind of sending some red flags up. As expected, the new Joy-Con controllers attach magnetically and have much bigger SL and SR buttons for when you're playing on a single Joy-Con controller. The sticks are also bigger. Do they drift? I hope they don't drift. They have a built-in stand. Looks much better than the ones on the older Switch systems. There are 2 USB-C ports on the console. 3D audio when using compatible headphones. The console has 256 gig of storage, surpassing the 32 gig on the original. The Switch 2 dock outputs at up to 4K with compatible games. And the dock has a built-in fan to keep things cool when running at higher resolutions. Good luck with that. Switch 2 is using similar game cards to the original Switch, but Nintendo notes that they're faster. You'll have to use micro SD express cards for extra storage this time, though. Standard micro SD ones won't be compatible with the new hardware. A new Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller is going to be available with a C button for game chat, so you'll be able to chat people. It has a GL and GR buttons. One of the most important specs on a portable console is battery life. It says 2.5 to 6.5 hours. And they have the video chat, voice chat thing. I mean, little things like that. I mean, it's very, very Nintendo, right? Mario Kart World is at launch. I guess that's the packing game. I guess it's $500 for that game. $500 for that game. We're getting to that point. No, $500 for it, including that game, and you can buy it separately for $80. And that's what the point of this this video is going to be, is just how expensive these games are. But we'll talk about the games first, and we're going to talk about the cost. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, that's going to sell a lot. Dragon Drive, it's 2025. What could that possibly mean? Hades 2, Street Fighter 6, Split Fiction, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, Hitman World of Assassination, and Demon X Machina. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is coming eventually. And From Software announced Dusk Bloods. The Dusk Bloods is a Bloodborne type game. And of course, they have Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I did not know they were doing a new Donkey Kong game. And it looks okay. I mean, I do like the Donkey Kong Country games. I do. I think Jungle Beat's actually my favorite Donkey Kong game of all time. I love Jungle Beat. But you got to play it with the bongos. I mean, it looks okay. I don't know. I'm not like, I mean, the redesigned Donkey Kong, I know that was controversial for people because they saw him in the Mario Kart teaser. He looks more like a Nintendo Donkey Kong. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, he looks like he could be Donkey Kong Jr. grown up. That the face he's got, I can't quite put my finger on, but he's got that like early Nintendo face going on compared to the rare Donkey Kong, which he's iconic, but he didn't really look like Donkey Kong. He didn't look like a Nintendo character. He looked like a rare character. That's fine. I mean, that was kind of the world he's in. But I guess if they're gonna bring him into, why is he wearing pants? If they're gonna bring him into Nintendo and he's going to play ball more with Mario and friends, they're probably going to Nintendo him up, Japanese him up a little bit. I don't think it looks bad. I think it's okay. I mean, it looks more like the cabinet art and the tie-in stuff for Donkey Kong back in the day, just with the necktie. Okay, so that's chit chat, whatever. Oh, no thanks. I don't want your stuff. Let's talk about this. This is the not the elephant. I guess it's the elephant in the room. They're charging $80 for Switch 2 games. $80. PC Mag has it. Everybody's talking about it. Forbes is talking about it. Nintendo Switch 2 flips the Switch on $80 and $90 games. Insider Gaming has it. Up to $80 for digital, $90 for physical. This has been a conversation that has been coming up a lot lately. The price of games. People say that games have not kept up with inflation because back in the day, when I was a kid, I used to buy Nintendo games and Sega games. They were $40, $50, $60 back then. Phantasy Star 2, I mowed a lot of lawns for Phantasy Star 2. That was my first JRPG. And it was $69.99 at EB. And I remember thinking, well, it must cost so much because it comes with a tip book. So, $10, $15 for the tip book and then the game, and that's, whatever. But then Phantasy Star 3 came out, had no tip book and cost exactly the same amount of money. So, whatever. And I know Grand Theft Auto 6, they're talking it's going to be $100. I guess, I mean, I understand it costs a lot more to develop these games, but what I'm saying at this point is like, you're not dealing with the physical media limitations. Like, I talked about Phantasy Star 4 in the beginning of the episode, and it cost that much because it was on like a 24 megabit cartridge, which back then was ungodly huge, and it had a battery save and the whole thing. Now they're just doing it because they want extra money for development. Like, these games are hundreds of millions of dollars to develop, and they're going to squeeze gamers for every penny they can get. I'm going to be honest. I don't see myself buying a lot of $80 and $90 games. I just don't see myself doing it. And I don't think a lot of consumers are going to do it, especially if you're going to buy an $80 or $90 game, and then you're going to get this chip, this cartridge that doesn't have the damn game on it. You have to you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just crazy, but it's going to set a new precedent, and people are going to pay it because it's Nintendo. New Pokemon game, $200. There's going to be a line around the block. There will be. They can charge whatever they want. They're Nintendo. So it said it's been announced the price for games on the Nintendo Switch is going to set players back up to $80 for digital, $90 for physical. It's insane. $80 for digital. So, yeah, the announcement of the $80 games for digital can be found on the Switch 2 website. It's worth mentioning, however, that Donkey Kong Bonanza is being priced at $70, a mere $70 for a digital game. That is a bargain. It seems to suggest it will continue to be a game-by-game basis, though $80 to $90 seems more welcome by Nintendo. $80 to $90? Video game price increases have been a hotly talked about subject for a number of years, and the cost of game development increasing tenfold in the past 10 years is surprised the increase didn't come sooner. No. Because they spend so much money on these games and people don't buy it, and then they go put a game out on a skeleton, with the Skeleton Crew, and they sell a whole lot of copies at like $20 or whatever. And people aren't going to buy, they'll buy the Mario Kart, they'll buy the Mario game, they'll buy the Zelda game, whatever. But then after that, you're not going to sell a lot of games at $80 or $90. You're just not, right? They're going to buy the marquee games. And I get it, because like with Mario Kart, people are still playing Mario Kart 8 all these years later. Hell, I'm playing Mario Kart 64. I love 64 version, the N64 version the best. And I get it. And it's like, if it's a game you're going to play a lot of and you're going to play it for years, maybe you should charge a little bit more. I don't know. But for the average game, especially for indie developer, you cannot charge $80 to $90 for a game. It's not going to happen. Nobody's going to take a chance. They'll take a chance on a $20, $30 game, maybe a $40 game. We're at a place right now where people, maybe it's the, because of, Apple pricing games at 99 cents or $4.99 or whatever for so many years. But we're at a place right now where people do not want to pay more than $20, $30 for a game. And there's so many games out there. And, again, Nintendo can charge whatever they want because they're Nintendo, but everybody else is going to be screwed. You're not going to get a lot of people to buy your game at that price. And we're going to see more devs get laid off, in my opinion. That's what's going to happen. Now, that's Nintendo. We don't know what, smaller developers are going to charge. They might hold the line at, $29.99 or whatever, because they know people are not going to buy a $90 game. Unless it's a sequel to like a major franchise. I'm starting to think that AAA now is not the development cost, but how much the damn game costs and how much people are willing to pay for it. It's a AAA title. If somebody's willing to plunk down $80 to $90 for every title in your series, then that is a AAA title. And it'll happen with Grand Theft Auto for sure. But this is insane, guys. So there we go. My initial reaction of the Switch 2, if you're asking, meh. I do like the fact that GameCube games are coming. You're going to be able to play GameCube games, but I can already do that somehow. Not saying it's completely kosher, but I can already do that. I've got all the GameCube games I want to play whenever I want to play them, but it would be cool to play them on the Switch. I don't see myself upgrading anytime soon. That's just me. Your models vary. I'm sure a lot of people are going to buy it day one just because it's a new Nintendo thing, but it's not worth it for me for Mario Kart and Donkey Kong. Get 6 months, a year, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Unless you guys really want us to play it on the channel, then I'll have to go buy one to keep up with the Joneses. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk later.